Hello, happy Monday. Welcome to Coffee Break with Christine. Hope you all had a great, peaceful, and restful weekend. Today I am interviewing someone that I met through networking on Instagram. Her name is Monifa. She lives in Jamaica and she is trying to start the idea of beginning the virtual assistant business in Jamaica. It's not a very common thing. It's not a very common thing in general, but definitely not in Jamaica. So we are going to speak to her today and find out about her journey. Let's just wait for her to join. Hi, Jenny. How are you? Good to see you. Sorry, just waiting for her to join here. She said she was ready. Oh, here she comes. Okay. So, Monifa, you have to press the two smiley faces? Yeah, exactly. Here she comes. Hi, how are
Hi,
you?
I am
Happy,
good. How are you?
good. Good to see you again. Happy
Same,
Monday.
same here, and happy Monday to you too. Can you hear
Yeah,
me clearly?
yeah, no problem
Okay,
at
good.
all.
Okay, good. Because I was wondering, so I don't need the microphone.
Awesome. Well, I did a little introduction already, but why don't you tell everybody, your name, what you do, and a little bit about your journey to being an entrepreneur.
All right. So, hi guys. So, I am Monifa Gordon. So for me personally, I recently started. I have two things that I do. I have JA English Coach, which is where I actually tutor persons in English, as well as I have Epic Tours, which is a fun little tour group that I put together, which funny enough actually started from a blog. Like I started a blog about just fun, food, and travel, and then I started to incorporate, being able to work from home and doing all of those things. And so those are both of the main things that I do, but then I also freelance. So I do quite a
Hmm.
few things, but the journey has been, of course, one of a challenge. Like that's a given. Like every journey is a challenge. And for me, it started, I think it was really from growing up because my mom was a nurse and my father was self-employed. So from growing up, I sort of had that mindset that I preferred what my dad did versus my mom because I saw her having to go in while he was a little bit more flexible, right? It was still challenging for him though because with self-employed, if you don't go into work physically, you won't necessarily make. So I was like, no, there has to be another way to this. But for sure, I know I didn't want to go into an office. But I did the regular. I went to university. I have a degree in business administration, production operations, and marketing. I graduated in 2013, and to be honest, I've never used that degree before. So I just have it, right? It's there to say at least I did, the formal education system, and I have that there.
Well,
Um,
now you're at least in business, so you probably
exactly.
will be able to help, like, pull a little
And
bit of
marketing, right?
information. Yeah,
Right. So it
exactly.
does help me with that. So I guess it benefited me in the long run.
Hmm.
Um, and then for the journey itself, it was hard trying to figure out where to start. So I had to start in the regular working world. So I
Hmm.
worked for like a year and a half in the actual working place, and it wasn't fun. So from that point, I realized that I needed to really start doing something like for myself and get it started.
What
But
did
I
you
have
do? What did you do for that year and a half?
it was a customer service representative.
Okay.
Or it was good in the sense where I was like just in the office by myself,
Mm-hmm.
but it wasn't what I wanted to do. And then to have people coming in and arguing with me, telling me lines of expletives for things I would not have done, it
Yes.
was not good. And I wasn't eating properly. It was really bad, but the
Mm-hmm.
experience was good. I can,
Yeah.
yeah, so that for sure. So that's a little bit about my journey and where I am now.
So after the year and a half as the customer service role, you left, and
Right.
what
So,
made you start
all
your
right.
own
So
business?
when I actually left that, I actually went into network marketing for a little bit, which helped to
Mm.
improve my mindset a lot more. I actually still do that like on the side, still love it, but that helped me with my mindset. So when I actually ended that, that's when I got certified to teach English online. So I was
Okay.
doing it from then. But it's the same thing where I was doing it, but I was doing it for a company. I
Mm-hmm.
still do it for a company now, but then I know I also have mine, so that's a little bit better. So I'm still working on building mine some more, but like for me, it was just being able to do my own. So coming out of that, it was the network marketing a bit, and then of course starting the teaching online. And then from there, I got the idea that here what I could definitely make something from this a little bit different and make my own pride. So I decided to start that, and it's been good so far.
Awesome. And what kind of freelancing work do you do on the side?
Sure, I do like social media management. So I manage a few
Mm-hmm.
pages on Instagram for, like, for example, here it's a non-profit organization. I
Mm-hmm.
manage the Jamaica Red Cross's page for Kingston,
Oh, oh,
right?
that's great.
Yeah, so I've done a few. I still do actually. Yeah.
Good. So, what has been the most difficult part of being an entrepreneur for you, or like going through the process? When was it that you started actually?
I started in for the English thing. I actually started that this year, and
Yep.
tours. I had that in mind from 2017, and I started it in 2019. But the first tour I actually planned right before, and then COVID hit. So
Yeah.
that yeah, so I actually have another one coming up end of this month. So I'm excited about that because that would be the first official outing. But it's already booked out, so I'm excited.
Oh, that's
And things
great.
are open here, so
I was going to ask you, have tourists started to come back to Jamaica since COVID? How's that been?
it has, but they still have to get like permission. It has to be like somewhat of a reason, so maybe like a business trip or something like that.
Oh,
But
okay.
it's opened up because now most people have started going to the hotels, but it's mostly us who are already here in the country just being free.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's
Yeah. So what has been the most difficult part of being an entrepreneur for you since you started?
so for me the toughest part was actually deciding what to do. Funny enough.
Mm.
And the reason for that is because like I'm a quick learner, so I love learning new things. So like
Mm-hmm.
I would have learned a lot of different skills and different things that I like and that I'm good at. So I was
Mm-hmm.
trying to figure out what should I do. Like even talking to my sister, she usually says, "You have so many good ideas," but it's like, yeah, good ideas, but what am I going to do with these ideas? Because I can't
Yeah.
do them all at once. So it's to try and figure out where to put that focus. So right now,
Yeah.
just the focus on the two, but there are a lot of other ideas swinging around that I just have them written down for future purposes. But for
Yes.
now, that those two are where my focuses are at. So that was the most difficult thing, and just the whole idea of to continue and keep going when things really hit the ceiling.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are
I'm sure I feel like a lot of entrepreneurs, once you start one thing, you get an idea and then you want to keep going and try different things. So I'm the same way. So I totally
one
understand you.
step at a time. Right.
Yeah.
Definitely one step at a time.
But it's good to have different ways to earn money in your business
Yeah.
as well.
Right.
So So that's good. You have the English and then the freelancing and then the tours. So that's awesome.
Right. Because someone even said it to me recently. Like she asked me, what if, like with everything happening now, I if I think that if I, for example, my business has failed, is it that I have to go back into a 9 to 5? And for me, like because of where I'm at mentally, like that's not gonna happen. Like no matter
Yeah,
what, there's this online digital age, it's not gonna happen.
exactly. I'm with you. We'll make something happen, right? Outside
Exactly.
of, yeah. So what's your favorite part of your business that you do?
My favorite part. What can I? Of course, it's the people. If you realize
Hmm.
everything I told you about is centered around people, it,
Hmm.
yeah. And for me, like the biggest thing, especially with like the teaching, I meet people from all over. And for me, that's big because I love traveling. So it sort of helps me to learn about the different cultures. Even though I'm teaching them, I learn too. And as I said,
Hmm.
I love learning and stuff. So I learn a lot. Um, and I don't know, it just gives me a chance to sort of understand the different, other than the culture, like the people from the different countries, because there are some countries that you realize, hey, these people are like these people, and you can sort of know which ones. So for me, like that's the biggest thing. It's the same
Hmm.
with the tours. It's people. I love
Hmm.
dealing with people. And can I tell you, years ago, I was not a people person. Like I was
Really?
totally, yeah, like everyone is shocked that I even do this whole blogging and YouTube. Like everyone is shocked. Years
Yeah.
ago, yeah, you couldn't even get me in front of a camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I'm the same way, and I'm missing people with this pandemic, like the connection. That's why I started reaching out to people on Instagram like you,
right,
because
yeah,
networking is so important. You never know, like, what you and I have this awesome collaboration now,
right,
and like, you just never know what comes from who you meet. And so,
true,
yeah,
definitely true.
it's even if it's moved digitally, at least like it's important to keep meeting
Keep,
people and
yeah, keep
yeah,
growing, no matter what, keep growing.
yeah. So doing so many things, so you have three streams of income.
Mhm.
How do you manage your schedule, like your day to day? What do you
Oh yeah.
use?
So here's the big part. So I have a 1 year old, right? So you know that part alone
That's right.
is a
Yeah.
lot. But I do have someone that helps me with her. So what I do is from 6 to 6 is usually my hours where I work with the teaching. So whether it's my clients or the companies, 6 to 6 is teaching.
Oh,
And then
wow. 12
yeah,
hours?
yeah. But in
Oh,
between I get like little breaks here and there. So in the
okay.
breaks I'll cook like my breakfast or my lunch or my dinner, whichever. Then after
Wow.
that, yeah,
I didn't know it was that much.
yeah, my friends say to me like, "You don't sleep," but I do actually. I actually changed it earlier this year, and then after that, no, after 6, I spend time with my daughter until her bedtime, which is about 8:39, and then that's when my work starts. So then I go and I start to do everything now for myself till about 11:30 midnight, and then I sleep. Yeah,
Wow.
you have
Oh
to
my
grind.
gosh.
Yeah,
You
but the
hustle, girl.
but the plan is not to do this for life, right? It's just
Right.
until I build it right to where I can definitely relax. But
Hmm.
here in Jamaica, we have a saying where we say, if you want good, your nose have to run. So that means if you want good, like you just have to do what you have to do, kill the hours, whichever, and then you can relax after. So that's the goal.
Uh-huh. Wow. I give you credit, girl. I don't know how you do it, especially with a 1-year-old.
Okay.
Wow.
It's a shocker you don't hear her running or something, but yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So, as you know, with entrepreneurship, there's lots of ups and downs with,
Yeah.
emotions, and, you can get a new client one moment and the next moment you might lose a client. So how do you deal with the emotional ups and downs?
All right. So for me, the emotional ups and downs, honestly, I think has to do with your mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it from when I said I had started the whole network marketing and stuff years ago, it got me into reading a lot more, and that's the biggest thing I'm grateful for. I read a lot more now, and the books that I would have read are those that really helped to mend my mindset because my mindset was horrible. It was negative. It was really rough, right?
Mm-hmm.
But through that, I learned something which I think is very big, and that's that life happens. Like, no matter what, life happens. So it's really up
Yes.
to you to just make up your mind that when this happens, you just. There's a quote that says, "No matter how you feel, just dress up and show up." That's
Mm-hmm.
something that I try to do no matter how I feel. Like, my friends will say to me, "You know, you don't have any emotions." I was like, "Yes, I do. I just know how to manage it," right? Because at the end of the day, for example, even looking at now, look at COVID happening. It has made a lot of changes, and you just have to adjust and make it work. So for
Mm-hmm.
me, it's the same thing with my mindset. Life happens, so you just have to adjust, shift,
Adjust.
and work with it. But the reading definitely helps me a lot. Once I feel down, I read. And I'm not saying I don't have my down days, because trust me, I do. That's
Everybody.
a given. Everybody does.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, just do what you have to do.
I love what you say about to like dress up and show up, because I think committing to what we say we're going to do is a big it's a big accomplishment. It shows others how we are as people and the values that we have, because a lot of times, you might commit to something and then you don't feel like doing it, but the fact that you show up and do it anyway just says a lot about your character. So,
And again,
definitely.
it goes back to the years ago. It was actually network marketing that helped me with that too. Because, like, setting the meetings, I'm like, I have to show up. I can't set and not show up. And I used to force myself. So I
Hmm.
used to set like crazy. So I know I had to get up no matter how I feel it. So that helped me to start to curb the discipline from early. So it's just to
That's
just.
great. Yeah. So I'm curious. So you mentioned, COVID, we have this pandemic going on.
Right.
So how has that affected your business? How have you had to make changes?
All right, so for the teaching, it's been fine. It's actually been better because everyone is now home. So it's
True.
pretty much more classes. So that's good. As I said, the tours, though, I had to put that off because it
Of
hit right when I
course.
was about to push out the first one. But now that everything is opening. But what I had started to do was I started doing these online lives as well, just to continue to build up on it, to build a brand, to build everything. So that has been the biggest thing, and it has
Hmm.
honestly helped to improve in terms of, as you said, networking. I've met so many different persons and built connections with them and good relationships. Like, even day before yesterday, it's not out yet, but I did a YouTube video with someone who I actually met on Instagram, and it's just been good. And I'll just continue to. I even continued to do it even after the place is being open and everything, because
Hmm.
I think it's just really good to continue. It helps you to build your brand a lot. It helps you to network. So for me, that has been good. But for the teaching, it didn't really take any. That was actually better. So that's what.
Good. Good. I'm happy to hear it. And again, I think it goes back to mindset, because in the beginning, when the pandemic hit, I was one of the people too that was like, oh no, like I'm going to lose my clients, or,
Right.
but I know people that have made more money during the pandemic, so it's all about your mindset and really just sticking to working. And yeah,
Right.
absolutely. Um, you said something that I can't remember, but so I know one thing that you and I discussed was that kind of the virtual assistant is like a new idea in Jamaica. It's kind of a new theme.
It's a
It's
real
new
thing.
everywhere, but
It's a real thing in Jamaica.
yeah. But just tell everybody a little bit about what you're trying to do to make like virtual working and the
That was.
virtual assistant known, yeah, in Jamaica.
All right, guys. So as I said, I have a blog as well as I have a YouTube channel, and I do these lives. So the lives, for one, are usually with persons within the different, because remember, the blog is about working from home. So we have different job ranges. Of course, you have freelancers, you have your virtual assistants, you have ESL instructors. You have so many things online, right? Digital
Hmm.
marketing is the biggest thing now. So what I do is I'll have interviews with persons within the different areas that will come on and build some kind of awareness. So I'll do lives and people will learn from it. And then following the lives, I also post them to my YouTube channel. and people also see it from there, and then they will ask questions and things like that, and from the questions I'll help them as best as I know how, and I'll reach out, because just like how I met you, I have another virtual assistant that I met, so I'll also extend them to her, and that's how I think the awareness is a little bit more, because not to say it's not here, but it's very rare. So it's definitely, yeah. So that's the goal, and it's to continue building it.
I think that's great that you're, trying to build awareness about other options that people might have to start working for themselves, especially when things are difficult. And now with the online world, the job can, or the client can be anywhere. If you're doing social media, you can really manage it from anywhere. So I think that's great.
Because at first, honestly, I think, especially when COVID hit, I was wondering how the island would have coped with it. Because here, the whole working from home thing is not popular. It's not common. So I was like, how is everybody going to react to that? But I've seen where some persons were able to shift that mindset because they didn't have a choice and just start making it work. And for some, I think they're a little bit more open now. But I told everyone, we had those different ages. You had the industrial age. I think this is the digital age, and it's just time to get used to it and learn from it and just go with it.
For sure. There's no turning back now. I feel like everything is just going online.
For sure. But I love online.
That's great. So we're almost heading towards the end, but what is one piece of advice that you would give to someone who's just starting their entrepreneur journey?
All right. So my advice is, one, remember it's a journey. The journey has ups and downs. It's definitely, it's not going to be smooth. There are going to be days where you feel like calling it a day, especially in the starting part, right? But just know that it's a journey. Be consistent and just keep going. No matter what, no matter how you feel, just keep going. Yes, I won't say take your day. If you feel like you're having a down day, take it. But then just use it to just re-energize and push even more, and then just continue. Because you know the end game. You know what your aim is and what your goal is, and you know what you have to do. So just do it, and don't look at all the side noises. Just focus and continue.
Absolutely. It's funny, we're on the same page. I just did a podcast interview this morning, and they asked me for the advice, and I was saying one of the things is not to give up, because you can always change, you can always adapt, but just don't give up, for sure.
And continue growing. Always grow.
Yes, absolutely. Yep. So I always ask everybody this, but what's your favorite hot drink? Are you a coffee drinker, or?
Actually, I am not much of a coffee drinker. I'm just a tea person, a regular peppermint. Do you know mint tea?
Yeah.
Here we actually have the mint. It's really good. So
that is good with fresh mint. Yeah. Awesome. Well, tell everybody where they can find you, your YouTube channel, your Instagram page, like everywhere that they can find you. And if you have anything else to share that I haven't asked or haven't said, feel free to share that too.
All right, sure, no problem. All right, guys. So for YouTube, you could follow me. I'm at Epic Tours. That's EPICTOURZZ. So it's 2 Z's. Right? Or you could follow me on Instagram. You'll see it. It's Epic Tours 3, same spelling. On Twitter, it's the same Epic Tours. What else? On Pinterest, it's the same Epic Tours. Everywhere you look, it will be Epic Tours. Also for the English teaching, it's JA English Coach on Instagram and on YouTube. All right, so you guys can check it out, and you might see stuff there that will help. And if you feel like visiting Jamaica, you could go on the YouTube page and have an idea of some of the things and places that you could visit.
Yes, and definitely I would recommend Monifa as a tour guide. I am so sad I didn't meet her before a year ago when I went.
I should have loved it.
I was going around by myself, but Yeah, it's a great place, especially has so many different things to offer, depending on your interests and adventure and all of that good stuff. So definitely reach out to her if you need a tour guide for Jamaica.
For sure.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for sharing your wisdom. And I will see you tomorrow on our
Yeah.
interview.
All right. So I will see you. And thank you again so much for having me on the
Of
show.
course. Yeah. Have a wonderful day.
All right. Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Okay.